Hey, loves. Let me add in my guest.
I wear my crown. Hey,
Hey,
how
what's
are
going on?
you?
I'm good.
Well, while we get people start rolling in, it's slowly gonna be coming in. I like to do a little, dance session in. So
Here
if
you
you
go.
wanna, uh,
How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm actually pretty good. Excited.
Is that an exclusive hat? Oh,
Yeah, it
oh,
is.
oh, oh, oh. We won't spread the goods too
Oh
yet,
yeah.
but I'm,
Yeah,
I can
this
see
is
them
a
when they're
yeah,
exclusive.
yeah, it is.
Yes, it looks like it. I'm loving it. Awesome. Hey guys, I see y'all slowly rolling
Oh
in.
yeah. And then of course
We're
I got the black his
official.
and black hers, yeah.
Y'all catching this fire. Already seeing fire emojis up in our live,
I
guys.
see.
Welcome in. We are so excited. So while people are coming in, I'm gonna be waving. Um, And just guys, we're so excited that y'all are able to come onto this exclusive interview with Black His and Her story.
Oh
I'm so
yeah.
excited. One, there's so many things that I'm excited about with this company, but before we even get into it, welcome to Crown Chats. Crown Chats was created in order to just have a platform for people to talk about three areas, three lanes that I know so well: breast cancer, mental health, and entrepreneurship. These are all things that I dealt with traumas and turned into triumphs. And so my guests that come on, they're able to talk about how they were able to take one of those three lanes and be able to turn something as far as sometimes a trauma, but also sometimes just something they had to work through
Yeah.
and triumph through them. And so today, we are able to have one of the founders, CEO, head guru of Black His and Hers on today. If y'all did not hear the announcement earlier this week, this is one of my brand ambassadors. So I had to do this. This is what I had to do because I'm extra, right? So you know how like whenever they have what is it like whenever they have like the people, they're like, I'm gonna go with these people or whatever. So
Oh
I got
yeah.
my official hat, right?
You brought out
Okay,
the
so
hat. Don't do that. Don't do it.
I gotta switch it out. Mm, Oh, this is
Oh
my
yeah.
brand, Black Her Story. So yes, his and hers. I'm official like the whistle. So yes, y'all haven't check them out. But I have my guest on, so go ahead. His name is Robert, but he's known Black His and Her. So go ahead, Robert. Let him know a little bit about yourself.
All right. Where do I begin? So my name is Roger from Black His and Hers.
Yeah.
One half of Black His and Hers, a brand that I started with my wife. So started it back in 2016, but didn't really launch it until 2021. Just tried different brands, different ideas. So I don't know. I just decided I was gonna just take this serious and just push it to the forefront. I felt like I had a story to tell. My wife has a
Right.
story to tell, and then we just wanted to pass this legacy down to our kids. So then I just
Right.
decided, you know what? I want to hear from other people also. So, my
Right.
slogan, of course, is, know your history, tell your story. So,
Yes. Yes. We love that. So what do you mean whenever you say like know your history, tell your story? Why is this so significant?
so, all right. So, know your history, of course, Black history, but also just being able to tell your story. So, it's like I have my own story, of course. You have your own story, but just
Right.
giving a voice to that story, just being able to express yourself, bring out some things that, a lot of people don't like to talk about, and just basically just try to figure out how we can help, one another, how we can pay it forward. So I created Know Your History, Tell Your Story. And, I created like these little segments where people give me 15 to 30-second videos and they just give me a fun fact, tell me a little bit about themselves and why they purchased the brand for one, and then just being able to just get a little insight because I want to connect with people and then I want our people to connect with our people. So it's just creating a family, something to come together, but also creating that individuality also. So that's why it's called Know Your History, Tell Your Story, basically. So,
I love that. I love this. So this is, if y'all are just now getting in, this is a company that is actually a combine of you and your wife.
Yes.
And so y'all created this to create as far as legacy to pass on to your own children.
Yes.
But through that ministry of saying, hey, this is something that we're going to do together, you want to say, hey, I want to know about everybody's story and how they came about. And I love that. I really love that. That's one reason why, I personally wanted to be a part of this brand because I love how you care to take on everybody's story because everybody's story is definitely different.
It really is.
And people can connect to your brand in a whole different type of way. So I have another question for you because, questions were swarming in this week. And so I think you kind of answered the first one as far as like what inspired you to start this brand. Did you kind of answer that fully, like just you and your wife, or
so it's kind of a crazy story. Well, not really a crazy story, but to me it's crazy. So
yeah.
All right. So a lot of people don't know. A fun fact about me is I actually, music. I rap. So I write lyrics. I record music. So I was doing that for, I might as well say for ages, forever. My father's a drummer and we just, me and my brother, we just been doing music basically all our life. So my music, I speak a lot of positivity, but also I speak a lot of things as far as like Black culture, like just I create stories and just look through women's perspectives also, not just men's perspective. So the name just, it just came out of that, just basically, from my music and just being able to just put people together. So they always said that, my rap style is a positive, but is very direct and in your face. So the Black His and Hers it's still positive, but it's directly in your face. So, it's there. It's like, wow, it's like, boom. So,
and quality, and even the quality of your stuff. I mean, I know I have, and I told you this, I was walking into a grocery store and somebody literally was like, where did you get that? And I was like, hold on, calm down. Because like, just as much you should say, like within music, you like that pop, that wow, your clothing does that. I'm just going to let y'all know, if y'all have not went on his website, BLKHISNHERS.com, go on there. Please, please, please check it out because he has some really nice, the material is quality. When I say quality, like you're talking to somebody that, y'all know I love to dress, okay? But this is quality stuff. And you talk about legacy, like this is something that I could probably pass down to my children. I don't have any yet, but whenever I do, I can pass it down to my children because it's going to be able to last. So, you're really getting value in your material and what you put into it. And like everything, every little intricate detail is on point.
So basically, I decided because you could take several different routes when it comes to the clothing business, but I wanted to control everything. I wanted to do the QCing. I wanted to just be able to feel the garments, feel the Chanel patch that's actually on the hoodie. I wanted to feel the woven tag that's on the actual sleeves, and then the embroidery tag that's on the other sleeve. And then, I wanted to just control that whole 9 yards. So I just wanted to make sure that when I give someone something that I'm proud of it, coming from not just a hoodie, but I also package it, and hoodie bags itself And then I also put it in another custom bag that has Black His and Hers on it. So, and then I
Yes.
want the tags. You know, I'm thinking about, you know, this is an exclusive, but I'm thinking about, well, I'm not thinking about it. I'm already put that into motion. Just getting
Right.
bookmarks. I had someone that contacted me and was like, hey, I'm loving what your brand is about. And, you know, would you mind if I give you some ideas? So I said, yeah, you know, I'm always open
Open.
to
Yeah.
ideas. So they was like, what do you think about creating bookmarks? And I was like,
Ooh.
I was like, okay. So I got some bookmarks actually created. And,
Oh,
you know,
cool.
that's going to be something that's going to be thrown into the custom packaging. So that stickers, of course, I got a bunch of stickers made. So just, you know, marketing purposes also, you know, people want to put those decals on their computers and
On
whatnot.
the
So
cars, stuff like
exactly.
that.
So yeah, so just trying to get that, you know, spread this Black His and Hers all over the world. So
Yes,
that's exciting. So this is something that I'm really passionate about. So
I can
I'm really
tell.
trying to, yeah, I'm pushing this to the forefront. I'm not gonna play with it.
And it's crazy that you just started
Yeah,
in
November.
November and you've already hit how many followers, even on Black His and Hers Instagram?
So right now, I think I'm sitting at 3,300 followers. So about
Yeah,
3,300 followers, almost 3,400 followers. So
that's
just
amazing.
really just been, you know,
Going
honing
up.
in on, yeah, I'm just honing in on, you know, basically my niche, just
Yes,
looking for my target audience. I'm just really just trying to find, you know, who wants to be a part of the Black His and Hers and tell their own
right,
stories and stuff. So,
right,
you know, with the logo, it's Black His and Hers, but a lot of people are probably seeing like the Black Her story and the Black His story.
right,
So that all has a story, basically. Every piece, everything that I created has a story. So
right. And you know, Roger, one thing that I know that because again, they asked a lot of questions, so I'm trying to get them all in.
oh
One
yeah.
thing that I noticed is that a lot of people are like, I love what he's doing with the brand. I love, you know, we have a lot of entrepreneurs that follow me. And so they're like, okay, how does he do all of this and still be able to sustain his mental health and not go crazy? Like, how do
So,
you,
oh my
because
gosh.
I know you'll answer Instagram, you'll be on your website, you'll be uploading stuff, you'll be ironing stuff on. Like, how do you do it? Like,
So
are you cloned? Like,
no,
what's going on with
I
you?
made a rule. So a
Okay.
rule of mine is basically is still to take breaks. A lot of people think that you need to be up, you know, let's say for instance you get up at 5 o'clock and it's like I'm gonna
Right.
work from 5 o'clock till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. I actually don't do that. I actually plan my day. So for instance, I know I have to go to
Okay.
work, you know, regular 9 to 5. So I would just focus on that. You focus on the job that you have at, you know, in hand. And then when I
Okay.
get home, I focus on family time. So nothing to do with the clothing business, but then I make sure that I dedicate at least an hour or two to the actual business, even if it's just me going on YouTube and getting knowledge,
Okay.
looking up things as far as garments. Sometimes I even just say, let me order like 5 or 6 hoodies just so I can feel the fabric to see if it's something that I want to use. I'll do
Right.
something basically different every single day for about an hour or two, but then on the weekends, I actually take a mental break. I don't do anything with the
Mm.
clothing business. I basically it's just family time. Saturday and Sunday, family time.
Wow.
I don't go on Instagram. I'm not creating flyers. I'm not creating posts. I'm not doing any of that. And then a lot of people don't
That's
know
crazy.
you
Cool.
can actually schedule your posts. So if
Yep.
you decide that, you know what, I'm gonna go on the ads manager and then I'm just going to create my posts for the whole week so that,
Yes.
okay, my posts will be at 9 o'clock, 12
Yes.
o'clock, and 4 o'clock. Let's say I have 3 posts a day. I scheduled that Monday. So I scheduled that
Yeah.
Monday to go through Monday through Sunday because people will be like, man, you're on here every single day. Actually, I already know
Mm-mm.
what content I want to talk about. And if I have to add something
Mm.
in that I found out, what I would do is I will wait till, let's say, I get off of work, have the family time, because I'll take either a mental note or I jot it down in the notes real quick, create whatever I
Okay.
was going to create, and then put it out there. So, yeah,
Wow.
you got to take a
That
mental
is
break.
That is awesome that you could break that down because people would assume that you're just
That's all I do. Yeah.
clone.
Just
Yeah.
just 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 do the clothing business from, from sundown to sun up. Nah, you can't. You have to create, like I said, even if it's between, sometimes I will go because my press machines and everything is not at home, it's at a different location. So what I would do I would basically wait till the baby's asleep, my wife is good, and I say, hey, I'm gonna go press clothing for about an hour or two, or whatever the case might be for that day.
Oh,
Then
okay.
I'll go
Okay.
press however many I'm gonna press. Then once that is done, then I go home. So I just repeat the process every day, just different things every day, so it doesn't feel stagnant. But I'm also learning stuff new every day. Just yeah. So and then, like I said, I take that mental break though, that 48 hours break every weekend. It really helps. It helps you decut, get all that
How and
clutterness.
you just cut it off. You're like, I'm done
You
on the
have
weekend.
to.
And why is that so important?
It's very important because it helps you, because what happens is like I said, you can get stagnant. You can start getting negative thoughts because something is not moving. Let's say, for instance, you
Mm,
don't have a hot week this week. You had one last
right.
week. So you're like, man, what's going on with sales? Like, it's not happening this week. So
Right.
just being able to regroup, that's another thing, just regroup
Oh,
and just being able to
okay.
regroup, not really focus too much on it, but also just get a clear mind. So when Monday hits, you like, okay, these are the things that I'm gonna do differently that I didn't do last week, or or just being able to just come in on a Monday with a fresh mind, like you done
Yeah.
basically just cleared any of those thoughts. So yeah, that really
Awesome.
helped. So yeah.
I think that helps a lot because yeah, I think a lot of last week we were trying to get on the entrepreneur standpoint, and a lot of people are like, how do these entrepreneurs do it? Like, how do they sustain their mental health and work and be on Instagram and this? And it's a lot that goes into it. But again, like you said, the content planning and just making sure you schedule out stuff, planning is important. So I guess that means procrastination is not allowed.
So now, hey, now we all procrastinate sometimes. Like don't get it twisted, because I'll
Right.
procrastinate sometimes. I mean,
Right.
sometimes it can be too much. You like, I don't, yes, I take my breaks and stuff of that nature, but there will be times where you feel like you're gonna crack, and it could also just be what you're looking at on social media, what you're digesting as far as like TV, video games, whatever the case might be. So if you're
Right.
letting in negative energy, that can cloud your judgment on certain things too. Like
Right.
this is weird. So this week and last week, I had a bunch of through my feed, my IG feed, and also my
Right.
Facebook feed. There's a bunch of like pay, buy, create ads, and just brand content every single day, right? And a lot of people
Right.
think that like that's a good thing. Yeah, that is a good thing. But if you see too much of it, you'll start trying to cater towards that instead of not making up
Mm,
your own mind and trying to figure out what's good for
your
your
own.
brand. You would try to
Exactly.
start emulating everybody else's brand or everybody else's services and stuff of that nature. So just
Right.
so yeah, just trying to figure out how you can make this work for you, make it work for your brand. Because I can show a lot
Awesome.
of people blueprints as far as like what I say to influencers, stuff of that
Mm-hmm.
nature, but that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
always work. So
Got it.
yeah.
So another question that was asked is, what are your future goals for Black His and Hers and how that plays into your legacy?
All right. Yeah. So, all right. So I have some really big goals, of course, dreams, but you can set small goals in order to reach those dreams. So I
Okay.
try to set small goals as far as like, okay, what it's going to cost me to do this, this, and this. Like I can't really give you a full breakdown of like the
Yeah.
smaller goals because, I'm still trying to, figure this out myself as far as like what's the next step, how do I scale, stuff of that nature. So
Right.
but as far as to build on my legacy is just basically to not just tell my story but tell other people's story also, and then just come together as a conglomerate. So basically, let's say
Mm,
for instance, Whitney, I have you as a brand ambassador. I know my brother, he would be a brand ambassador. I have another
right.
guy that just was contacted me, wants to be a brand ambassador. So what I
Right.
can do is get a lot of these guys and ladies' stories, and then we can come together and actually just build from that also. You know, you would have brands, everyday people,
Yeah.
entrepreneurs, manufacturers, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
And we just, it's like, you know, like a summit, even if it's just
Yeah.
virtual. So we can just
And
have yeah.
what I
So,
love about this is that the concept isn't, well, I'm doing good, so I'm just going to look out for me. It's,
nah.
I'm doing well, so let me help bring everybody else up. It's not any of the crab effect. And if any of y'all don't know the analogy pertaining to the crab effect, it's like, we're not pulling each other down.
Oh, yeah. No,
And
we
crabs
lifting
in a
up.
bucket, they're breaking their legs to pull them down and stuff like this. But in this scenario, it's like, what can I do to help you and elevate your brand? What can you do to help elevate me and my brand? And I love that. I really love what you stand for.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just, I'm just trying to do that. I'm trying to build up people's self-esteem, not just people, but my own, my wife, my
Right.
kids, just leaving them something to where they can be proud of. They can pursue it. Even if they do not pursue it, they can always say, my dad taught me this, my mom taught me
Right.
this. We're leaving a legacy, and then they can teach their kids that. So because it's not just about clothing also, it's also
Right.
about credit, teaching them the ways of life, being respectful to people. It doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter what color, creed, or whatever the case might be. But at the same time, I do want to teach them though that, Black is still powerful too, though. Like, we're
Yes.
some powerful people. So,
Yes. And since you've launched in November, you've had a positive, just as far as people loving this brand, right?
oh yes, definitely. It's been quite a journey. It's been like, I'm like, wow, like, okay, this is actually
Running.
pretty amazing. Like, don't get me wrong. You do have some ladies and some gentlemen that will contact you through chat or send you an email and call you all types of different names or whatever the case might be. But without adversary, once you get that
Hey.
negativity from people, and it's not in a way of they're saying that your brand is trash or anything of that nature. They're basically just saying like, okay, Black His and Hers, even though you're speaking positivity,
Right.
like, what about all his and hers, or what about you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I get that a lot also, but I don't explain myself on that.
How do you deal with that?
I don't. When I say I don't, meaning like I don't engage in that. Like, I don't.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't put no energy to that. I know my wife, she came running down the stairs one time. Was like, did you see what this person said? And I'm like, don't even bother. I'm like, don't even say anything, because at the end of the day, when you're doing something positive, people have stuff to say. People have good, bad, or indifferent. People have something to say. So I was like, you can't answer everybody. So
you really can't.
Rule of thumb is
let's
don't
put
say
our
anything
energy
at all
towards
when it's negative.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's positive, but hey, all day, go ahead, thank you, and let's just find ways. Exactly. Let's just find ways that we can help build our people up. So that's my main thing, is just trying to build our people up, be proud. And basically I had another tagline that I don't really, talk about, but it's be confident in yourself and what you wear, so that's my other little slogan that I use
I love that.
quite often. But my main one right now is just know your history, tell your story. So yes, I'm really pushing that. So.
And I love that, because I know like during Black History Month, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to rep, this during Black History Month. But I mean, one thing I love about your brand, it's not like, oh, I'm just saying rep this during Black History Month. No. It's in general. It's like, know your story.
This is the little hidden gems, a little secret. It says Black History, but it also say Black His Story. So that's my little my little tidbit. I have Black Her Story also. So it's just something that I created because I wanted to give just a identity, not to just men but women also. So I didn't want to, like, of course my hoodie right here says Black His, Black Hers, but I wanted something that's just going to create individuality also. Like I didn't want, I could
Right.
have did the hoodie where, you know, everyone wears the Black His and Hers, it's unisex, so on and so forth. But
Right.
I was like, you know
Right.
what? I want to get a little deeper. I want to be able to, everyone to have their own story, because I feel like we all have voices, but we don't express them, you know, enough
Yes,
anyway.
I love
So
that.
yeah,
I love that. You know, I teach public speaking and I tell my students, you know, I'm like, hey guys, you have a voice and your voice is meant to be heard.
it
And,
really is.
you know, I just love that because I was telling them today, I said, everybody needs to go onto Black His and Hers and go get y'all's hoodie so we can all be posted up with
Oh
your
yeah,
professor. And they're like, okay. But it just, I think, for me, when I saw this brand, I was like, oh my gosh, it's something that it's kind of like whenever they came out with the Black Disney Princess. Okay.
okay.
That's kind of how I felt when this brand came out. I was like, ooh, something for me. Like I can wear it, that I
Oh yeah,
identify with. It specializes to my community. And I know a lot of people are like, well, why do you have it? But it's like we haven't had many of those type companies. And
yeah.
so to be able to have that is something different.
Exactly. And that's what I'm just trying to give something different. That's, you know, something different,
Right.
something that's like, yes, a lot of people will see hoodies and it'll say, like you said, Black history, but that's not what it's just about. It's not just about February. It's 365.
Right.
That's what it really is about.
Yes.
365, 24/7. When you wake up, when you go to sleep, you know, I want to be able to, because at the end of the day, I want to be able to speak and give positive messages, but I also want other people to feel that, and also being like, okay, the thing that like is one of my biggest like things that I'm really trying to achieve is
Okay.
to open up people's brains as far as saying, you know what, that thing that I put to the side, you know, that it doesn't
Mm.
have to be, you know, a clothing brand or whatever. You could be an entrepreneur in many things. So just
Yeah.
being able to say, you know what, that, you know, that rap career I've been putting on to the side. I know I'm talented as I don't know what, but I don't want to push this because I'm concerned about what somebody else thinks. Instead of just like,
Mm.
let's be comfortable in our own skin and just be able to just give somebody something, you know, that you are proud of. Doesn't
Right.
matter, you know, what you think of people's, you know, opinions are about it. Like just put
Right.
that out and just keep pushing. A lot of times what we do is we
Yeah.
create something and we just stop. We just be like, okay, it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's not
Right.
going to work. Even when it feels like that, you have to keep pushing. You know, it takes
Yes.
people, sometimes it takes sometimes it takes people years to push
Yes.
out a message or get where they want to get to, but you just got
Agreed.
to remember, you got to keep on
Right.
going.
Cause let's be real. Cause you know, I launched Whitney Raehill in December and you launched in November, but it's not like it's just a thought we came of. It's something that you were probably thinking on your company for a minute. I was probably thinking on mine. And it's like, you know what? We either get this going or it's just
Yeah,
not going to get going.
exactly. You have to push through. Like I said, there's going to be negative thoughts, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be a lot of pros, a lot of cons, and it's sometimes you just have to jot that stuff down and just figure out, okay, how can I, you know, fix this? How can I,
Yeah.
you know, I need to figure out what my target audience is, and
Yes.
how do I get people to engage, and how do I get people to want to listen to these stories and stuff of that nature. So you just try different things. You do A/B testing, basically. You know, you
And can
try
you break that down?
A/B testing is let's say you have the same product, right? But you have two different approaches, basically. So test A would be, I'm gonna run my website this way. It's gonna have more graphics, less people, more wording, and then let's say, for instance, test B is, like I said, it's the same website, but test B would be video
Visuals.
content. Exactly,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
people that's actually in my hoodies. So you want to see, you know, let's say you run that
Which
test.
one works better?
Exactly, you'll run that test for a week, and then you'll run the other test for a week, and then whatever people gravitate towards, you push that, and then you figure out,
Mm.
how can I make that even better as time
Right.
goes by. So
And
that's how you find
that's
the
the
target
key.
audience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny that you say that because a lot of people will say, "Oh, you started doing this," and it's like a lot of stuff when you're just starting out as an entrepreneur with your company. It's like trial and error,
It really
trial and
is.
error, trial
It,
and
it
error. It's
really
like,
is.
yeah, I remember whenever I first launched, I was like, before I started doing a content planner, I was trying to do all my content like back to back to back. And I was like, I'm going crazy here. Like, this is messing with my mental health. Like, I can't do any of this. And so I love that you even spoke on that because it's like, again, it's trial and error, figuring out what works well, some stuff might work extremely well.
Yeah.
And you're like, but I can't sustain that because
Yeah.
that's going to drain me.
No, yes. You will get to a situation where something is working really well, but it could be an issue. It could be work life. It can be it just can be a lot of stuff. It can just you'll be like, man, this is so positive. This is working in my favor, but you have you just have something else that's just telling you like, but I'm taken away from family time, or I'm, stuff
Right.
is just being taken away. So
Right.
I like, that's why I say you have to figure out how many hours you can put a day into something, even if you can't put any hours in, minutes, whatever you can do to push your brand, whatever you have going.
Right.
You just need, it doesn't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be 10, 12 hours a day. You can just 30 minutes, whatever you can do to better your brand. You should, figure that out, even if it's reading a book on entrepreneurship, like just anything to just get that brain working, get those ideas out, jotting stuff down. It might seem like chicken scratch to somebody else, but to you, it can be genius level. You like, man, okay, I figured this out.
Right.
So, yep.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And those tips are very helpful. Is there if you could leave like 3 things for them to like really take with them from Black His and Hers before we get into like talking about them going to your website and being able to place an order, what would be like 3 main things you really want them to know about like Black His and Hers?
Well, I feel like we've been definitely speaking about it, but just being able to create your own stories, and giving them to the world, like just not being afraid to let people know who you are. That's a big one for me. Just being able to just, people, I just want people to be like, okay, yeah, I can do this. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. I can do this. This guy can do it. She can do it. I can do this too. Like I said, just giving us a voice, basically, so that's one thing. Another thing is basically, link up with me. I just want people to link up with me. I love to hear, ideas. I love suggestions. Black His and Hers isn't just about selling clothes. Black His and Hers is about ideas. It doesn't have to just be about clothes. It can just be about, letting me know, hey, while I was looking at this, or here's a story that I seen. You might want to incorporate this, or whatever the case might be. I want to be educated also. So I think education, as far as with Black His and Hers, we could bounce ideas off of each other, so
that's good.
A lot of people always tend to just be like, well, I'm making all of this money. I don't want to give these trade secrets out. Like, I don't want to do that.
They want to hold on to it.
I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not about, doing that. I have people hit me up all the time in the DMs and be like, hey, what are you doing? Because I see you have a paid partnership here, and I see you did this, and I see you did that. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me just do some screenshots real quick. Let me send it to you. Let me hear. Okay, this is my manufacturer that I use. This is the company that I use for my hoodies.
Wow. So you just give all that out, Roger?
I give it out because it's not mine. That's what I'm saying. Like, the manufacturer is not, it's,
he's like,
the manufacturer is not mine. He's not on my payroll, or she's not on my payroll. I don't own that building. So, the influencer is not my influencer. Like, they would be like, yo, how did you get her? Or how did you get him? I'll say, this is how. And I'll just show them what I said.
Yeah.
And then
that's amazing.
And then what happens is they will look at it And they'll be like, wow, you were really like just short, straight to the point, so on and so forth.
Because you're about helping other people too.
I say, I figure out, I look. One thing about it is you have to make sure that you educate yourself on the influencer. A lot of people think, okay, I just need to get LaMelo Ball to get in my clothes. So they'll just contact LaMelo Ball and say, hey, wear my hoodie or whatever the case might be.
Right.
If LaMelo Ball isn't fitting your brand, it's not going to work. You know, it's just not. You know, like if it could be a coincidence, you know, that LaMelo Ball wears your hoodie because it's just hot, but for the most part, you need to find like-minded people that are willing to spread your message. You know, if you can't find like-minded people willing to, you know, support you genuinely, then you might fail in this business. You know, you really have to just get lucky when it comes to, you know, people just grabbing your clothes that are like superstars and, you know, want to wear it, you know, publicly. So you just have to build network. Network is a huge word, just networking with people. So, you know,
that's good.
Hey, I have to come out of my shell. I don't normally, you know, be in live.
Yeah, this is your first exclusive
this is
live.
My first live, yes. So no, I don't normally do that. I normally just be behind the keyboard and just, you know, figure out all my ideas and just put them on spreadsheets and put them on graphic designs and stuff of that nature. And then I give it to the people, you know, because a lot of the things that I'm thinking at the moment, because I have a segment called Creating Gems. So
I love that.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I just from, and I just want to recap what you said, you know, you said create your own story, like giving the people as far as a voice. You also talked about linking up with like-minded people and educating yourself as far as when it comes to like networking and building content and knowing your processes in order to be also a sustainable business.
Definitely.
So I really love these points. I hope that y'all were able to like grasp the jewels, the gems that he says as far as with Black His and Hers. Y'all can go onto his website. It is literally everything is the exact same. So at BLKHISNHERS.com, that's where you can go. There's hoodies, there's t-shirts, there's hats. What else is on there? There's more stuff that you're making too.
Yes, there's definitely more stuff that I'm making. You know, I'm working on getting shorts created. I have a few mock-ups for some shorts. Of course, hats. And this is one of the exclusive. This is 100% customized. It has 3D embroidery.
I like that.
It has suede underneath of the brim. It has a tag, you know, the Black His and Hers on here. Then there's on the back of the hat, there's a woven tag that says Black His and Hers. So it's just it's a full.
And I have to show the women this real quick. So women, okay, I like every weekend when I'm doing my deep condition, wear this hat. But look, his wife is amazing because you see this crisscross? Your girl be having her hair out here and people be thinking, oh, that's a whole cute hairstyle with your hat. Thank you to your wife. This is an exclusive, nice hat. This is quality, y'all.
That's all my wife right there. My wife was like, hey, what do you think about these crisscross hats? I was like, let me see them. I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and accessorize that.
I don't have any hats like this. This is why I need to get some more of them.
Oh yeah.
But
so
let
me say one thing. So right now I have something going on the website. It's not on the website as far as like if you go on the website, it's not in flashing lights. It's not a flashing sale or anything of that nature. But just for my IG followers and watchers right now, I have a 25% off discount. If you type in Black IG, so basically BLK IG, you can save 25% off from now till tomorrow at 12 p.m. is when the sale ends. So 12 p.m. tomorrow, 25% off all products. It doesn't matter how much items you put in your shopping cart. Once you put them in, you add that BLKIG, Black IG, yes. Once you just add that in there, you'll be able to save 25% off. Doesn't matter. Like I said, that's about $37 a hoodie. My hoodies are $50, so that's $37 a hoodie.
That's amazing.
If you're a new customer, you can save even more because if you're a new customer, there's a pop-up that comes on. You can save $5 off of being a new customer. So look at that. You get $37 for a hoodie plus another $5 off. And guess what? You get free shipping. I do free shipping forever.
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 And I'm all the way in Texas. And when I tell you, when I get my package, I'm like, so excited because y'all are in DC, right?
Yes, in DC.
Yes. That's why I love it. Oh my gosh. And you guys, I just wanted to let y'all know, like, again, these are very quality. And a lot of people will sit there and say, oh, I love the hoodies. I haven't, I have the hat too, but like, a lot of people will say, well, it's not about to be cold and stuff. Okay, let me tell y'all something real quick. For those people that like to say this, because I already have a comeback for it. When you go work out, right? After you go finish working out, you got to put on something because you got to make sure your pores aren't all exposed, right? You got to put on a hoodie, okay? Whenever, you're just warming up or you're about to go into the movies, right? You might have to throw on a jacket or something. You're going to throw on a hoodie. I love hoodies, so this is really big for me. And I love hats because of also being a cancer survivor, as far as going through chemo and stuff like that. I just always, and I call it my skinny people problems. Like, I'm always cold. Okay, so that is just something as far as my feedback. When I say quality, and y'all are getting this exclusive today, the Black IG. For 25% off, please take the time to do it right now. Oh, yeah. Again, because it ends tomorrow at midnight. And it's so funny because I told my class today.
It ends tomorrow at 12 p.m.
Oh, noon. Not midnight, 12 p.m. So that means do it right now. Do it right now.
I get 25% off is just for my watchers right now and people that follow me, so I'm just give them a little incentive, just as like, I appreciate you guys being on live with us. So just being able to do that. I do have some
for that so much.
Oh yeah, I do have some other items that's coming out that's going to be for certain holidays and stuff of that nature. And then of course for my brand ambassadors, I have some like member only items that's coming. So, you guys will be able to support some stuff that would not be made to the public. So just letting you guys know.
And how can people become a brand ambassador? Yeah, how can somebody be a brand ambassador?
So of course you have to be very engaged. Like I want brand ambassadors that produce content, of course, positive, When I say positive, just being able to, we're not always positive 100% of the time. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying though is just being able to have a positive outlook on things and just being able to be supportive, not just for people but also for strangers, for people you don't know, just being able, so that just being active on social media. If you have ideas, let me know, let myself know, my wife, she isn't on IG, but send me an email because she get the emails also. You can talk to my brand ambassadors. I got Whitney as a brand ambassador. I have somebody else that, I'm a link in and lock in with him. He just hasn't contacted me back because I want to do a Google Meet with him first. But I will have him, most likely I'll have him as a brand ambassador. So just being able to just lock in. If you see something that's very interesting, even if it's a situation where it's like, hey, Roger, I have this, something's going on in Texas or something's going on in Atlanta. Like we have this event, this summit that's coming. I think that this will be very interesting, that we can learn from it and stuff of that nature. Just sharing information. Sharing information is key to me. Like, it doesn't matter if you have 10 followers. It doesn't matter if you have 10,000 followers. If you have something that you can bring to the table that's valuable, and it doesn't, like when I say valuable, I don't mean money. I just mean like knowledge, anything. If you could bring that to the table, why not? So that's just,
and that's one thing that I love. It's like you're not chasing 50 million people. You're chasing the one that has an impact in the community, and that's important. And this is why I'm telling y'all I am a brand ambassador of this company, because there has been so many companies that's like, hey, be a brand ambassador. And I'm like, that's not what I stand for. That's not what I stand for. But this company, literally, know your story, tell your story, like 100%, guys. So not only are you supporting a brand that has meaning behind it. I mean, you're hearing it firsthand from the founder and CEO himself that he's saying, if you're wearing my stuff, I want you to have a story to tell others.
I just don't want you just to wear the hoodie because you think it's cool. I mean, yeah,
Right.
I do want you to do that too, though. But
it is cool.
I want you to also just give me some feedback. Like, I want you to be able to just, like, you know, if there's certain things, like when we was on our Google Meet, you gave me some feedback. You know, there were certain things that you said, hey, with this hoodie, and then, you know, I take those into consideration and say, you know what, let me look into that, or whatever the case might be. So that's very important to me, just hearing feedback. And then not only just hearing feedback, I want stories. I want people to tell me their stories. You know, I have people that would be like, well, my story isn't interesting. And I'm like, what you mean it ain't interesting? I'm like, you got some interesting stories. I was like, think about some of the things that you do for your own kids and the things that you do to educate them. I want to hear that story too. Because let's say, for instance, if you created something for your kid, let's say your kid 13 years old and you opened up an LLC for him, you know, you opened up a business for him because he was passionate about this. Tell that story. You know, like, I
love that.
You might have not have your own brand, but you're an entrepreneur in yourself. Like, you basically is showing your kid the ropes, and he's like, Mom, or, you know, she's like, Mom, like, thank you. You know, you helping my future. You helping build my future. And then not only that, you help them build that future for your kids, but then your kids will have something to build for and teach their kids if they do have kids, or teach their cousins, teach their family, teach their friends. Like, I want this to rub off to where it's not just about family, but it's also about friends. It's also about people you don't know. It's just, you know, I want this to feel like a family, though. Like, you know, even people you don't know, make it feel like a family. Like come on, let's get in this circle.
Agreed. Well, thank you so much for taking time to be able to just talk about Black His and Hers. You guys, please take the time to go ahead. This exclusive offer that he gave today, it's Black IG, and you get 25% off of
all products,
whole cart. Yeah. And so he's only doing that till 12 p.m. tomorrow. And that's just because y'all are on his live today. When I say quality over quantity, literally, I think these are the only hoodies that I will be investing in going forward, because the quality is way better than any hoodie that I've ever had. And I'm not saying that because I'm a brand ambassador. I'm saying that because that's facts. True quality. If you like the hats, he has exclusive stuff and everything. When I tell you, he won't wear it, his wife won't wear it if it doesn't fit them.
Oh yeah, no,
it doesn't even get shipped. It won't even get shipped out if it doesn't meet their standards. And let me tell you, the standards are high, because when I got my stuff in, I'm like, this is nice. Like, I told him, I said, I might be biting my tongue, but I was like, Roger, you might need to up your prices, because this is really good.
Nope.
And he said, I'm not.
I'm not.
And he said, I'm keeping free shipping forever. And I said, wow. Yeah. And so that also lets you know that it's not him chasing like a coin, chasing the money. It's about really getting the brand out, the story out, the meaning behind it. It's bigger than just that. So I promise y'all, like, if y'all go to support him, again, go on to BLKHISNHERS.com. Follow him on Instagram, Black His and Hers. All around, you can be able to just know that this is a brand to follow. If you're looking to be a brand ambassador, you can also DM him, or even on his email. Is there a preferable email that you like?
So I have two emails. I have, of course, blackhisandhers@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. And then I have contact@blackhisandhers.com. So that's the actual website email. Yep, contact@blackhisandhers.com. A lot of people are just comfortable with Gmail, so I created a blackhisandhers@gmail.com. So a lot of people are comfortable with sending me that. Put it this way, when I get an email, I see it. So when I get an email, I see it. I'm very, I'm very responsive. Like I like to read. Like if I see something, I'm like, okay, I gotta
You are on it. You are on it, because I'll be like, hey, what do you think about this?
Oh yeah, if I see it, it's because I like to give out fresh content, meaning like if I see something and it's in my brain, I want to give it to you right then and there. Like, this is what I'm thinking of. Let me give it to you. So that's why, like, if I see something and I read something and I do have to think about it, then okay, I might not come back to you for another like 30 minutes, an hour, or something of that nature if I have to think about it. But for the most part,
quick turnaround time.
yeah. But for the most part, I'm just you might get one back from me in a minute or two. I'm like, oh, you're like, man, that was actually pretty fast.
Yes. Well, guys, I hope that y'all got the download as far as with this for those that are just now coming in, because Roger's still rolling in. So I'm just going to give him a real quick feedback as far as
if they rolling there, I don't have nowhere to be. I can talk all day. I'm not gonna talk all day, but I can talk all day, all night, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I don't mind. I have, there are things
the biggest gems that you left for us tonight was create your own story by, giving a voice or whatever. And then also making sure that linking up around like-minded people. And then also having a routine, a plan as an entrepreneur. It's great to say, oh, I'm an entrepreneur and I do this, but I don't know if y'all heard him say, he said he has balance as far as planning his day out, as far as I'll go to my 9 to 5, then I'll have family time, and then I'll have actual set out time for actual business. And then on the weekend is mental break, as far as mental break and family time. And so he's able to tell us that at the end of the day, you can still sustain your mental health and create legacy.
Oh, yeah,
and that's what Black His and Hers is all about. So I hope that y'all got this. I hate that most of y'all are just now coming on again, but we'll have to probably have you back on again, Roger. Like, I think that might just have to happen because the people are liking you. So thank you.
I mean, if we want to drop this video on there, drop it on them. I like to look back and look at it myself. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So
thank you so much for coming on to Crown Chats. We look forward to having you back on.
Oh yeah, and I'll probably bring my wife next time. I'll bring my wife because then she can give you her perspective and let her drop some of those gems for you guys. Oh yeah, so. Don't worry, as time goes by, I would dig a little deeper into my story. I really, my whole, like I said, the whole situation with as far as Black His and Hers is not just to tell my story, but tell other people's stories also. And, as I want to be a little, exclusive, because I want people to get to know me rather than me just giving you the full spectrum of my story. So, just being able to just be a little exclusive and, give you bits and pieces. Like the fun fact I gave tonight was, I actually create music, so a lot of people don't know that. So that's something that, so yeah.
As entrepreneurs, we dibble and dabble in everything.
We really do.
Yeah, a lot of people, whenever they're like, so you're a motivational speaker, a professor, and a mindset coach, I'm like, yeah, I don't stop.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Love it. Well, thanks, you guys. I'm going to jam it out for us before we head out. But, yeah. I'm going to see y'all next Thursday. Tune in. Crown Chat. Thank you, Roger.
No problem.
Yeah. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's night. Bye.
See you guys.